Hi, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for being here. Getting a little later start. Been up for a little bit, but whoa, little Miss Agatha in the back. She gets medication every morning, and she did not want to take it today. So she was running and zipping through the house like a little wild child. So, anyway, she's just one of them that gets medication. So, anyway, hi, welcome here. Blah, blah, blah. At least there's medication that she can take. So, for her, it's nothing serious. It's just quality of life issue. So, excuse me. So, my name is Holly. I'm a psychic medium. Thank you for being here. I'm an energy reader, and I am using tarot and oracle decks as a jumping off point because this is a general reading. So, please understand it cannot resonate for everyone, but if it does, great. I like to channel messages as well. And that's what we're going to do today. Well, I don't know for sure what we're doing today, but we'll see what happens in the next however long we're together this morning. And thank you again for being here. So I found this at the Dollar Tree when I went to go get batteries. I'm like $1.25 for a mug. Heck yeah. But look at it. How cute is this? You are the bee's knees. That was a popular saying. I think back in the 1920s, and I used to say it all the time. I loved all those old sayings. I used to say it all the time, particularly when I was like in high school or college, the bee's knees. So I just thought it was in the cat's pajamas or cat's meow, so something like that. But anyway, bee's knees. So, and, bees are somewhat becoming endangered, so depending on where you are. And so wasps are never fun because they sting you like crazy and it gets infected. I had a friend with a mass. Oh my gosh, I'm just rambling like well, it's coffee time. Welcome. All right, let's get to it because I know a lot of you, that's what you're here for. Those of you who are here for chat and coffee, thank you. Thank you for indulging me. We need to be the bee's knees all the time. And that's kind of like being a unicorn because I don't think bees have knees. All right, I am immediately, first and foremost, drawn to the Divine Feminine Oracle. I want to get a message that sets the tone. And also I was asking Spirit before pressing the start button on this, or record button, to what is the message? Because I gotta tell you, the last 2 weeks have been trying, and they've been a little odd and difficult. So I asked Spirit, what is, and I'm getting to pull that one aside, okay? So I asked Spirit this morning, is there a message for the collective? Because I know if one of us is having a lot of odd and unusual experiences, then probably we all are, because that's the way energy works. It's like a radio frequency that you can tune into, and everybody is listening to the same channel all over the place. And what I got was that it's important at this time period for messages to look for the synchronicities, that they are not, there's no such thing as coincidence, okay? So there's no such thing as coincidence. Look for synchronicities and signs, and that's how you will get the messages that you're seeking. Okay, they said to go ahead and use the example. So this is one example of the weirdness from this last week, last few days, 48 hours, a little longer than that now, but, and I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail, but twice while I was outside, once walking right outside where I live, another time when I was walking down the street, two different, and I'm old, but these were elderly. Okay, there's a difference between when you're old or when you're aging. When you're aging, that's when I think you're in your 40s. When you're old, when you're in your 50s and your 60s. And these women were like in their 90s. So that's elderly, okay? And so for those of you who are, we've got oars in the water, the same water. We're in the same boat here. So don't be offended if I say old, because I'm including myself in that, and I'm feeling older every day. But anyway, so there were these two elderly women, I would say in their mid-80s. One, she said she was in her 90s, and I believe it. Both were very well put together, dressed well, but One just collapsed right in front of me. Collapsed. And seemed a little incoherent. And, you know, of course, called an ambulance, and there were other people there. So, but, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then the second one, I don't know if it was for real or if it was a con to try to get me to help her, and then somebody else jump in from behind. You know how that, because people do that kind of craziness, you know, and it's the world we kind of live in, one I've seen a lot of. So anyway, but this woman was another in her 90s elderly woman, and at first she seemed coherent, and then she went off the deep end. And I thought, oh my word. And she didn't want help. She didn't want me to call anyone. She didn't want me to help her with anything. And so, but then she started talking in a really bizarre way. And I thought, am I even safe? Who she got hiding somewhere back here? You know, I mean, I think I can handle a 90-year-old woman, but, you know, anybody, any age of fingers can pull a trigger. So, you know, you never know about people. And so I thought, okay. And then she just was insistent that no, kept pushing me off, and then didn't want my help when she did. Anyway, I guess I am going into more detail. Excuse me. So I go on about what I was going to do, and I just called the non-emergency number, and I'm like, I think we need a wellness check over here, you know. So I don't know what happened, but because I ended up not being here right after that. So yeah, so hopefully there was a wellness check performed. So I started asking spirits. So those are signs and synchronicities. I mean, 2 in less than 2 days. So I asked spirit, what's going on here? And what is it that can help the collective in this bizarro story that I've now gone on way too long about? I am going to get to readings, I promise. But the message was that I had a personal message from that. And then for everyone out there, so if anything in that resonates for you as a message as well, you know, but just remember to look at the signs and synchronicities. And they're saying I need to push a little harder and go ahead and say what I'm thinking. So, okay. I think one of the messages of this is it doesn't matter what age you are, because there are much younger people who will tune into the video and much older people who will tune into the video. It doesn't matter what age you are. It's the decisions we make are the ones that will dictate what our lives look like. And even when we've had adversity and hardship, physical, emotional, mental, whatever, then it's how we react to it or how we respond to it. Are you acting or reacting? How are you responding to the situation? That will dictate everything. How are you fueling yourself? Are you bringing joy into your life? All of these things are important because it is a gift to age. So how are we going to age? Okay. All right. I spent a long time on that, more than I planned to. I didn't even want to bring it up, but oh well. All right, let's see what happened with those Divine Feminine cards, because I got pulled to select 2 cards while I was shuffling. One, it was just like this one, and then I was shuffling and it was the next one. So we have, I'm going to put my glasses on, and I hope I'm saying this correctly. Rabia, the Queen of Saintly Women. I am in service of divine love. I move the way love asks me to move. Even when it seems like the hard thing to do, sometimes the right thing to do is often the hard thing to do. Remember there is divine love around you, and remember to love yourself. Take care of yourself. Be your own best advocate. And if you need help, don't be afraid to ask for it. Okay, that's what I got from that. And then we have Ariadne, Mistress of the Labyrinth. My soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. Woo, that's a big statement. All right, and this is who they've got for her. Ariadne. My soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. It reminds me, I don't believe in necessarily a hell or a purgatory. I think it's what we create within ourselves, but that's a whole different story. There is an accountability that happens, but anyway, when we die. But, you have to look at how you made people feel and that kind of thing. But with this, the only way out is through. It reminds me of one of those old sayings. It was kind of a cliched saying, but it's very true. When you find yourself in hell, don't stop, just keep walking. And it's true. One day you will exit. If you find yourself in the center, and that goes along with those synchronistic events with those two ladies, if you find yourself in a difficult situation, keep moving forward. Keep moving. That's an important message for someone to hear. We all have setbacks. What are we going to do to move forward? All right, this deck was really calling out to me today. And we can get through anything. All right, the Quantum Oracle. I'm sorry, my fingers are... I was trying not to do that, but I did. All right, let me just hold a little book up. Quantum Oracle, there you go. By Sandra Ann Taylor. I have a ton of her texts. All right, they're just beautiful, though, and they're well thought out. She's just, I think, a pretty interesting practitioner just in her own right, but I'm so glad she took the time to create a lot of different cards. All right. Okay. Mother and Father God, all the spirit guides and guardians, and protect it. Please, protectorate, stand around these and watch over these proceedings. Spirit guides and guardians for the collective. What is the message? What is the dominant energy for the collective today? Well, hey, Maggie, did you run Agatha off? Or did she already get out of your bed? Okay. What is the predominant energy and message for the collective today? What is the predominant energy and message for the collective today? What is the predominant energy and message for the collective today? Well, look at that. All right, nothing fell out. This one is standing sideways, though. So I'm saying take the one on the top, too. Ew, okay. So we got, interesting. I'm going to have to look into that one. All right. We have great achievements. And that looks like a fancy schmancy dinner party. Ooh, it's all glittery and shiny. But it's like an outdoor one. So even though it's all glittery and shiny, it's outdoor and very earthy, very grounded. And then we have the loving man who walked a long way to get to you. This could be a man or a woman. It's the energy of the card. Remember, divinely guided. This could be you. This could be someone coming toward you. It could be a situation. However, this is something that has been a long time coming. This is something that's been a long time coming that comes with light, with purity of intention, with the bouquet of flowers, roses. So this is something that is coming finally toward you or is in front of you after a very long journey. I don't feel like it could be someone in the collective. I feel like this is something coming toward you because it feels like this journey has taken forever or felt like it took forever. But there is purity of intention, and it has been in divine timing. So what's going on with this when I got the nudge to pick it up off the top? Deception. Not everybody's going to like it. There might even be a little of that little nasty chit-chat chatter going on behind you. Don't worry about it. Look, she's got a glowing orb of light right there. That is her protection. That is her truth. And it doesn't matter what anyone else says. Forget about them. All they have to do with their lives is gossip. And if it's about you, then you must be doing something right. So don't worry about it. I want to get one more. Yeah, from this deck. Yes. Okay, I want to get one more. I'm asking them to give me one more to help to understand, because you've got this wonderful, great achievement, loving man, but then you've got this Why can't people just be happy and worry about their own lives? But yet, there's a certain sense of jealousy involved because I'm getting jealousy with this. So what should the collective do about it? Anyone affected by this in the collective, what should they do? Mother and Father, God, Spirit, Guides, and Guardians. What should the collective do? What do you want the collective to know about it? Just open it up to the middle. Well, which side? Okay. Okay. I'll just take one of each. Not this one? Okay. All right, so they wanted me to open up to the middle, but to this one. The message is peace. Stand in your peace. Do not let these little negative people infiltrate your world. Don't let them infiltrate and create strife for you because it's petty. When people talk about negative energy and curse work and gossip and negative thoughts, yes, that can wound us and ding us. And sometimes we do absorb that, but it's because we're letting it in. Shield yourself, protect yourself. When you stand in total peace, and look at that, she's on a swing, but she's above it all. She is so far above this. Look at the difference in the energy. This person is so far above it. You live your best life and let them slide right on into whatever gutter they're swimming in. It's up to them to fix themselves. Look for signs and synchronicities. I'm getting that again. Look for signs and synchronicities. Be careful who you place your trust in. Not everybody has your best intentions at heart. Some people may smile at you, just a broad smile. Look into their eyes, and you'll get the answer you need. All right. Now, let's move on to the Unfolding Path Tarot. This one's a little gentle for tarot, I think. And I am needing some gentle energy around me today. Agatha, hold on a minute, honey. She wants me to open the back door. The storm door is, it's not a screen, and it's got a very secure lock, but she can see out. So she likes for me to open that so she can watch the chipmunks. Oh, and mice. There are mice back there, and it freaks me out. As long as they're not close to the house, I can handle it, but it shouldn't bother me, but it freaks me out. Okay. I know. When I go work on some weeds, I use vinegar, salt, and a little dishwashing soap, but I'd like double up the amount of salt that I put in the mixture. I think I'm going to add a little peppermint essential oil and just say, I'm not trying to hurt you, I'm just trying to get rid of some of the weeds, but that are in a spot where they're not being productive for me. And so, little mice, move on to the back. All right. Enough about me. What is be the bee's knees? Stay above the fray. That's what I'm getting. That's the message. That is the dominant energy today. Stay above the fray. Don't let the... I understand some people are just damaged. But daggone, y'all. When they flip-flop in between, looks like calculated and damaged, then that tells me they're just not being good at hiding they're crazy. I got too much to do. All right. Now, and disingenuous people. So my goal today is to get on that swing and sway above it all, which actually there's not a lot to sway above. Things are pretty good. But I feel like that's the energy. That's what's going on as soon as you leave your little bubble. So just be aware. All right. What is the message? What is the dominant message for the collective from the Unfolding Path Tarot, please? What is the dominant message for the collective? Okay. From the Unfolding Path Tarot. And that card wanted to come out, but it was hanging on. Why was it hanging on? Oh, because someone is hanging on. Someone is clinging. Someone is unwilling to let go. Someone is hoarding. Someone is clutching with like... Okay, again, this is the example that's coming up. I think this has come up before. It's sort of like someone who is drowning in the pool, in the deep end of the pool or the ocean, and the lifeguard goes in and they clutch so hard that they start to drag down the person who's there to save them. Relax, let them drag you to safety. Otherwise, they might have to knock you out, and they will. Isn't that a funny thing? I don't know why that strikes me as so funny. I'm here to save you, but I can't let you kill me, so I got to punch you and knock you out. Like, what the heck? Sometimes what seems like, and I'm not advocating violence, I'm really not in any way, shape, or form. But, and usually I think if they tell the person, relax, or we're both going to drown, just relax, I've got you, let me get you to safety. And sometimes we need someone to intervene and help us. But, for the most part, if you know you can't swim, don't get in the deep end of the pool. There's also that. Grasping and holding on to something. What is go with the flow? I'm hearing the message is go with the flow. Don't let it drag you down. And that's coming up again. There's all these symbolic ways they're coming up with today, and very creatively, I might add, to help us all understand. Don't get trapped by the minutia. Don't get trapped and held down by the little things. It's not you. It's not in your life personally. It doesn't affect your day-to-day life. And even if it's something that might, just remember, go with the flow and it will change. If you keep saying clasp. If you grasp on too tightly, all you will end up doing is hurting yourself and potentially others. All right, we got 2 more. What else? I think that was a pretty complete message all on its own. We got to remember to go with the flow today. Go with the flow. Anything else? All right, so what are these 2 cards? Okay. What order? Doesn't matter, this one? Okay. The 2 of Wands. Okay, this is a very sporty person. Very, very sporty person with a lot of fire and holds the world in her, you could say his, again, gender doesn't matter, her or his hands. But they got on their tennis shoes, they're ready to run, they're ready to go, they're ready to get to it. But yet they're still watching for something. They're still waiting for something. What are you waiting for? A couple of thoughts just ran through my head, and I'm asking Spirit to help me. And what I just heard was, take your time. You don't have to rush. You're not running out of time. Take your time and stop to smell and notice the flowers. You've got the world in your hands. Take time out to enjoy the moment and where you are in the moment. This validates that, the 4 of Cups. Notice what's around you. Notice the brightly lit cup filled with all that is good instead of noticing only that which is the negative. And so I fall into that. I get it. Sometimes it's hard when you feel like you're just burdened and there's too much to do. But look at this. This guy is missing everything positive and good and bright and light in this beautiful cup behind him that's being held by this lovely hand. And instead, he's just going to fume and fuss and notice all the spilled cups. Well, maybe they're not spilled. Maybe they were empty to begin with. Instead of looking at what you don't have, here's the message. Instead of looking at what you don't have, look at what is being offered to you and what you do have. And then that, hopefully, will create a little bit more peace so you can just take the high road. Okay? That's lovely. Thank you. All right. I think that was, yeah. And they said open to the middle. 7 of Cups. In fact, you've got so many options and so many good things coming to you, you're going to have to make a choice soon. So that one being offered to you, as soon as you recognize what is coming to you, as soon as you recognize your value and your worth, because I'm asking, help me out here, help me out. And that's what I'm getting. It's like they wanted that card to be shown because that's part of the message. And when I say they, I mean our spirit guides and guardians who are trying to give these messages across. And I'm a little in my head this morning, so I'm relying on them to just tell me what to say entirely. I mean, I always do, but sometimes I just instinctively know. And this is what I mean by being in my head. I'm just having a day, y'all. Anyway, when you recognize that, yeah, there have been some things in the past that have been awful or depleted you or depleted whatever, but when you see this beautiful, light-filled, bright goblet that's being offered to you, and you focus on that, all of a sudden, that is what multiplies. And it's okay. So it's kind of like that manifestation thing about where you focus your energy, where you focus your thoughts, that's what you create more of. And sometimes we do have to go through things that feel like bad situations because it's going to open the door that has run its course, and it is time to open the door for the new. And that could be in any situation, with work, with relationships, with friendships, even when people pass on or whenever there's a passing of some sort. It's almost like handing the baton over to the next. Once you realize there is no end, and once you realize that there is always some positive something being offered to you, that is where you're directing the energy, the gratitude for what you have, more will come in. And with that 7, I very clearly heard there will be decisions to be made because there's more to be had. Okay. All right, I think for the last message, okay, this is a deck called Spirit Messages Oracle Cards, but this doesn't feel right. And I opened it, something doesn't feel right with this deck right now. This isn't the right one. I'm not feeling it. I keep getting a pushback on it. Let's do this one. That's a cool deck, but that's not what we need to hear right now. Let's look at the Thelema Lenormand. And this is kind of a big deck, but it's a thin deck, and they're thin cards, so they're easy to shuffle. And I haven't used this one in a long time. We're going to round out this video and this particular morning coffee session. Ooh, I need a drink. Hold on. Ooh. I always gulp my coffee. I don't sip coffee. It's like a mince and cough drops. I chew. I always feel like I'm in a rush to do something. I gotta slow my roll. I gotta slow it down. I gotta realize, take the advice that Spirit's given, and they're asking me to give to you. So, yeah, basically, what's coming out of my mouth, I need to listen to. I need to slow and go with the flow. All right. All things have a season. Okay. So, sip and enjoy the coffee, because you and I we are the bee's knees. I even slurped a little bit there. Sorry. Okay, so what is the message? What is the message for today? As the energies and as the day moves on, what is the energy for today moving into tomorrow morning that Spirit Guides, you want us to know for the collective? What do you want me to say? What is it that you want to convey to the collective with this deck? What is it that you want me to convey? What are your words to the collective about anything? Dominant energies, advice, suggestions, a specific situation maybe, or as specific as you can get in a general reading. Okay. Thank you. All right. One more. I feel like we need one more. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. All right. It's almost the same as that first reading with the celebration and the loving situation coming in, and then the deception of the nitpicking people. But then you going with the flow and being above it all and not touching you. Same kind of thing. So we've got the birds. So chattering gossip, that kind of thing. It feels like it's creating a monumental, it almost feels like an institution that you're battling an institution, almost like you are battling not just the players, but the whole game, you know? You are battling, you just feel like you're battling, and you're really not. You don't have to address this. You don't have to deal with it. This often looks, I think to me, and I never thought about it before, now maybe that's because that's what they're showing me. This looks like an upright tower before the tower falls in the tarot. And this deck is read differently. So what I'm hearing, and this is brand spanking new. I've never had this reading on this card before, so this is interesting. There's huge change coming, and I mean big change coming. All these little naysayers, all these people who are saying, blah, 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 trying to put their negativity on you. It might, for you, seem like it's a blockage or something that would be difficult to deal with. This is actually not even for you. I think this is for them. Their tower is about to come crumbling down. It is about to completely collapse, and all that you will see is that bright light of the sun rising behind it, unobstructed. And they are going to have to move on and get their own lives. And you know how I know that? I knew this meant an ending, but I didn't know it in terms of the tower card aspect, which is kind of cool. Because this is the third card. And yeah, sometimes it could be a literal death, but not in this reading and not in this instance. In this instance, and it could be an ending that makes you look at things very differently. And it's like, you've got no hold on me. There are bigger fish to fry. There are bigger issues to deal with. I don't need your petty nonsense. Go get a life while you got a life. Life is short. That's kind of the attitude, I think, coming from the collective. But there's going to be an end to all this chit-chatty, gossipy, nasty people trying to do negative things. It just, you know, it's that polite society kind of nastiness, kind of like, you know, whatever. Get out of my face. You know, sometimes you just don't have the patience. So instead of saying that, just kind of like, yeah, I'm glad I'm not you. Turn around and go live your own life. This is going to come to an end. Those little gossipy people are going to have a tower moment of grand proportions, okay? And this could cover a whole lot of territory. There's been a whole lot of negativity in a whole lot of areas of people's lives, work, relationships, you name it. It's about to all come down, and it's going to end once and for all. And if there is any little chit-chatty, gossipy, weird stuff going on, it's not going to make a bit of difference. Okay? So, that's actually, even though I got all kind of loud about it, it's actually a really good reading, because what it means is that don't let them drag you down. You're the lifeguard. Don't let the drowning person drag you down. Why did they get in 30 feet deep of water if they knew they didn't know how to swim? Not that you need to leave them to drown, but at the same time, it's like, I will knock you out if you try to drag me down. Let me drag you to shore, okay? So that's pretty much it. I hope that makes sense. It was not the most positive way to present that information, perhaps, but I'm running out of patience. just today, I actually have a lot of patience and I feel better now. These were good messages and I feel good about the messages. This was just an overall, I feel like for every single person watching this, I feel like the loose ends are getting tied up and your true light is about to shine. We're getting ready to step into a whole new way of life and living and seeing the world around us. And it's because we are not going to engage in those nasty, petty, whatever's going on over there. We offer help when we can. If it's not wanted, don't kill yourself trying to keep offering it. They'll figure it out. And sometimes that's the only way lessons are learned. All right. Man, I hope tomorrow's got a little bit more love and light in it, because all right. I think we're in the thick of the massive tower coming down energy. And sometimes that puts you a little on edge and a little on guard. Just remember, visualize that person in the swing above the clouds, just above it. And that's how we will survive it. And not just survive it, but thrive and be in our best selves. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. If you were traveling, if you were at the beach, if you are doing fun things, if you were getting ready to publish, so many people are doing wonderful things. Keep putting all your good stuff in those comments. It's wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you for caring about each other. All right, let's get to it. Get to it, get through it. If you got something you don't want to do today, and otherwise, roll with it and enjoy the flow. All right, bye everybody.